Namaste everybody. Hi, Ali P here. Just spending a bit of time in between Christmas and New Year planning next year. So just planning next year's yoga classes obviously, but also thinking about my own goals and aspirations and reflecting on the year that's gone by and remembering that things don't always go according to plan. And so I thought I'd reflect on my own coping strategies when things don't go according to plan, and indeed when they do. And obviously yoga and meditation is a biggie, but there are a couple of other things that I thought I'd just share with you that help me personally. And this is the first one. This is my Celebrate Small Wins jar. This is something I started halfway through the year, and it's just a little post-it notes that on which you kind of write a small win. I'm supposed to do one every week. I think I've got about 20 odd in there, so my New Year's plan is to do them more often. But little things like, my babies came home. This was when the pandemic started and my children were stuck in various places, one in Canada and the other in Bristol, and they came home and we had a very lovely hug. And that was really, really nice. Here's a silly one for me. The Oracle Chakra cards promise me a miracle is coming. Well, that's nice. I like that promise. Other ones, just this is a big one for me actually. First in-person yoga class taught at the Yoga Lounge. 12 people attended and 8 people zoomed. Wow, that was a big little win for me. That was, really nice. So just doing this reminds me to be present in the moment rather than always looking to the big picture, the next big win or the next big thing. These are, things like a cup of hot chocolate on Poldu Beach when lockdown ended, or a lovely lunch, or a smile, a bunch of flowers, whatever it is, just little things that remind us that we're enough, our lives are enough. And it sort of is very helpful. It helps in yoga practice as well, just the practice of marginal gains, when sometimes we think of yoga as the poses, always trying to get into these poses, but actually if we notice the marginal gains along the way, maybe today it was just a little bit easier to hold that pose, or you felt a little bit stronger or a bit more flexible, or your mind was quieter. I know for me the marginal gains of getting myself into having headstand in my practice, and they've been happening over the last 2 or 3 years to even get to the point where I'm getting closer. So that's my really fun thing to do. A little jar of marginal gains, really easy to do, and really helpful. And it's nice to look back on at the end of the year as well. Nice to remind us to be grateful for all the stuff that we do have. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you is the 3 words thing. That's for three words thing. And this is something that my dear friend Lucy Blenkinsop shared with me a few years ago, and something that has guided me every year since, something that I spend time thinking about. 3 words that I can sum up what I want to invite more of into my life, or maybe what I want to focus my attention on for the year ahead. Or maybe it's something new that I want to explore. Maybe some sort of self-development, self-awareness. But what happens when you find 3 words that are really special to you? When a decision needs to be made, you can always come back to your words and use them to guide you. Or if things take you off course, the course that you thought you wanted, then actually having your words there ready for you really helps. So I'll share you my words this year. These are for 2021. My first word is open. Quite an interesting word, but one that's very personal. Opening my heart a little bit more than I've done over the last few years. I think when horrible things happen in your life, you tend to close down a little bit. You protect what's left of your heart. You try and just sort of hold on so that if things are painful, you kind of shut down a little bit. And actually, it's time for me now, I know, to open my heart when my natural instinct might still be to hold on, to grip tightly. So I think of it as I'm in a bud state. So a flower analogy coming up. I'm in a bud. All the leaves are all protecting the core, but the core will not be able to flourish, won't be able to make fruit unless I allow it to open. And so that's my first word. The second word is persevere. Now this is a big one for me. I am the world's best starter. I will start a new business, I'll start a new hobby, I'll start anything, but my ability to follow it through, persevere to the very end, shall we say challenged. So I have a 3/4 written book, which I'm going to persevere and finish. I've got several pieces of artwork that I've started and they're gathering dust. So persevere is my word for this year, which I think is probably quite pertinent because all the stuff, the fun stuff like flying off around the world, travelling, doing exciting things might not be on the agenda. So I've got to persevere with what I've got. So that's that one. And then the last one for me is heal. Now, heal is a process that we all go through all the time. We're all healing all the time. Our bodies are in a natural state of healing. When we cut ourselves, for instance, we don't have to sit and tell our bodies to get on and coagulate the blood and close the wound, form a scab and make it better, get rid of any infection. Our bodies just do that naturally. Our bodies are naturally healing. And so my focus is on continuing to allow my own healing, but also to look at seeing if I can heal others or help others on their healing journey. 2020 saw me discover these beautiful singing bowls and the wonderful healing properties that they have. Trained with Lola Lamo and now can practice vibroacoustic healing massage with sound bowls, which is wonderful. And also at the start of 2020, before all the pandemic stuff, I took my first degree Reiki, and hopefully this year I might be able to get around to taking my second and continue on with healing. So that's my 3 words. I wonder what words you might choose to stay true to your path for 2021. Anyway, namaste everybody, wishing you everything that you hope and wish for yourselves for the coming year, and see you on the mat. Namaste.